It's that time, folks. It's time for your board game dessert. It's game pie time. Of course, game pie is when Mandy and I serve up a selection of games based on our excellent taste and our whims because we hate ranking things, but we love tasty, tasty baked treats, hence our game pie. And the game pie of the week or the episode this time is a blast from the past because we are looking at 15-year-old games, the best games from 2010. Which, when I say 2010, it doesn't sound like it was 15 years ago, but it
No,
was
that's
15 years ago.
far enough, yeah.
Whoa. And I will tell you, if you go look at 2010, that year was stacked and it was very, very challenging. I have a list of 20 games that I had to kind of pick and choose from. And I
Yeah,
know, Mandy, it's kind of fun for us to make sure we're not always picking the same titles that fit into
sure.
multiple categories. I know you put some effort into that this time.
Yeah, it's tricky though, because I'm like, I feel some years for me, I'm like, yeah, like this one, you're like, I could find all the things, and this one I had, but not as many as I would have liked. So yeah, it's harder when you're also trying to pick ones you haven't talked about before.
Yeah, yeah. But because I think that this was the year like Firenze was out
hmm
and Papa U and Battle Sheep, Dominant Species. I mean, Navigator. Oh my gosh. It was really hard to pull down for me at least. But
Yes.
that said, Mandy, I think my half of the pie is a little bigger than yours. So should I start?
Yeah, you can start off first.
All right. First slice of favorite games from 2010. Alien Frontiers.
Okay.
Alien Frontiers has a couple of notes around it. One, it was one of the earliest or one of the better games to do dice as workers in a worker
Right.
placement game, all about, settling on a distant planet and things like that. It had great components because it was also one of the first kind of Kickstarter board game successes,
hmm
which is wild to think about where board games started with crowdfunding and where they are today.
Right.
But Alien Frontiers, if you go back and look at that original campaign, that was considered a huge success back in the day. And
Yeah.
it's a wonderful worker placement game.
Yeah, this is one I played, I think maybe once in my life, but one I'd like to revisit. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
it
it's
was it
still on
was
my
good.
shelf 15 years later.
Well, the first game on my list, well, Mumsy likes this, so I had to put it on here. I know. And manages to beat me every single time. Like, what? And that is Lords of Vegas.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people like this. I think there was a remake, was there not?
A reprint recently.
A
Yeah,
reprint,
yeah,
excuse
they
me.
tried
Yeah.
one.
So they
Yeah.
did a reprint. I still have the original one. I'm sure Suzanne, you do too. But this is where you're trying to get that money by building, on the strip. And I mean, anything with dice. I love dice. So, of course, I'm like, yes, lots of dice on this kind of game. And it just looks nice with my strip of dice. It's those wonderful values that are going to help me get all the monies that I need. I'm here for it. We don't want any of those empty lots. No. And this is a game I think that I also enjoy because my mom basically lets me count everything. And so any of the scoring, because the scoring is a bit of a weird thing I found in this game. So that's where I take it over. So my defense is that I'm so busy trying to figure out the scoring that my mom sneaks in for the win. So Lords of Vegas, it's a fun one. If you haven't played it, it's worth a look.
Great choice. Next slice up for me, Onirim.
Mm,
Onirim for me, I don't know the chronological if this truly was the first Oniverse game or not, but it
right.
it was the first one that really captured my heart. It's a solo only game, and back from a time when like solo games at this weight really weren't that common. You'd have like Friedman
Right.
Freezes, Friday, that kind of thing. Onirim is about nightmares, and you've got a deck of cards, and you're trying to find the doors to the dreams, and you get keys, and it's all about that hand and deck management. It's very, very clever. It's pretty smooth to play, and it's still one of my favorite solo only games. There's a great app version of it. I love the aesthetic. The production quality is awesome. Onirim, if you're into solo games at all, or you can play like two-player
Yeah.
cooperative, it's a good one.
No, that's a good one. And again, like I'm not super into the solo, but I know this one is one consistently that people really like. I don't own it, but I have played it. Next on my list, I vaguely remember Suzanne not loving this, and you're not the only one. This for me seems to have like polarizing opinions. That is Luna. So Luna is a Steffenfeld game, and for a long time I used to collect Steffenfeld games. I like this one. Is this the one you think is mean?
This is the one that is unforgiving. It's not the interactions. It's like if anyway, go ahead,
No,
ma'am.
no, no, this is always interesting to me, but maybe because I'm so in my own world, I'm like, it's fine. And I'm like the most random player in the world. Yet I managed to do fairly well at this game. I don't know why, and it is
Maybe
one of
it's because
those.
you're more adaptable, but, like, for me, you're going around this
Okay.
action track, and I made a mistake here, and, like, the half
Right.
day and the way that you're crossing the whatever the moon got, like, oh, brutal.
It
Brutal.
is.
You
It's
make a
that,
mistake, forget it, you're done.
and I think that's probably the difference. Like, I don't care, but you're right. I shouldn't say that I don't care. That's not good wording, but it's like, you're right. I'll just figure out something else. And it is one of those, where you're moving to different islands, and then I think like when you're starting the next round, it's a weird place that you start. It's been a little while since I've played this, but you end up starting, I think, at like the anyway, I won't get into too many details, but it does like where you start is not exactly where you end up and that sort of thing. So a lot of things are shifting, and that's probably why I'm into it, because I like things to move around and change, and then I kind of adapt. So as Suzanne was saying, Luna may not be for you if you don't are not into those, really unforgiving games. For some reason, it just seems to work for my ADHD mind. So Luna for me is a win.
And a lot of people love it. There's nothing
Sure.
bad about the game. It's too
Yeah,
unforgiving for me personally.
absolutely.
Much more forgiving and thematically perhaps more entertaining for me is Noremberc. And
Okay.
Noremberc was taught to me by a friend years ago, obviously, and it's from, I believe, White Goblin Games, and it
Oh,
never made it over to North America, which I'm shocked at. And if I had my own publishing title, Noremberc would be one I would try to bring over. It's a pretty
really?
yeah, it is there's on one hand, there's nothing special about it, but on the other hand, it's just such a delightful game. It's worker placement, resource management, all about like a little village. And so your resources are like beer and cake and things like that. And it's just delightful thematically. The gameplay is smooth, smooth, smooth. It fits that sweet kind of medium weight, quote unquote, Euro style
Right.
game where you're in and out. If you know how to play, you're out in under an hour, but you've had a really satisfying gameplay experience. So between all those components, Nornberg, it's a hit. It's still on my shelf. I don't get it to the table often enough. If you have the opportunity to give it a try, I highly recommend it.
Yes. So this is one I've never played. It looks very familiar,
It
like I've
never
probably
made it
seen
over
it.
to North America, so
Yeah,
yeah,
but I've never played it. But I mean, it sounds cool. Sounds like it's something I try. So who
it's
knows? Maybe this is the year. We'll see. Well, the last game that I'm going to talk about, it's another big one, and it's Vinhos, and this is a game by Vital Lacerda, and it's a big game, and they did end up doing like a newer version of it. And I think it did actually have a different sided board on the new version. So you could flip it and it is different. But then it does have the actual gameplay as well. And it's literally about that. It's about wine. So, I mean, there are lots of people who can relate to, hey, some wine, and you're trying to develop and produce the wine to, as in these games do, you're trying to get the most profit. And it is definitely one of those more intense kind of worker placement games. I mean, I think it's a four, almost a 4.5 out of 5 on BGG, which could indicate that it is definitely a fuller game. So I did have the original. I think currently I have the newer version, but it does have the original board on one side and then the new board on the other. So if it's something that interests you, the theme, or even, hey, if you like Vital games, that might be one you should try. And you know what? I haven't played it for a while. So I'm like, maybe I got to pull that out. So Vinos, very strong.
excellent. And to wrap up our game pie of games from 2010, I went a little wide on this one.
Mm,
Safranito.
okay.
Safranito is one of the earlier examples I can think of that combines dexterity with a Euro style rule set. And
Mhm.
Mandy's making a face for everybody who's listening to the audio podcast. Mandy is not well known for liking dexterity games, and the face she is making is bananas. Hey, Mandy, you want me to intrigue you even more?
Oh, let's hear it.
It's flicking.
Oh, there we go. Well,
But you
there it is.
basically have a board of different resources, different goods like spices and things like that. And you have your player tokens and you are flipping them and trying to get them on the different resources for kind of a Euro style set collection scoring game. It is a weird mix. And I think it's just it's weird
Uh,
enough that it just works. And now Mandy's making a different face.
no, I think they're bringing this back.
Oh,
Wait a second. Okay, sorry, didn't mean to hijack your choice
no,
here.
please do.
When I was at Canada Plays, this was a I swear to you, this was a game that looks super familiar. And I'm like, I'm not really into dexterity, but they were showing it to me. And it literally was this. And you had to like flick a piece, and then wherever it ended up, like those were like ingredients, like you were gonna.
Oh,
It's this game. I don't know if it's still the same. I'm assuming it's the same name, but the art is different. And I think they're using slightly different ingredients.
sure, sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I don't know if I was supposed to say that or not, but whatever. So, hey, wasn't told I couldn't. It was there. So, sorry. All that to say, good choice because I actually think this is making a reappearance very
Oh,
soon.
I had no idea. I really enjoy this one. And, Mandy, we play so many games. Sometimes games that just do something a little differently or do
Sure.
something in a unique manner really appeal to me. And Safranito does that. So that is another one of my favorite games from 2010. I could have gone on and on. Mandy, if you haven't, have you played? I don't know if you've played Shocked, which is a Feld game.
No. No, you
It's
know what? I know it. I haven't. Yeah, there was like a period where I kind of just. It's good.
one of
Okay.
my favorite auction games.
So
It's
you said auction, and I'm not a fan of that either.
I know, but it's
But
Feld.
okay.
And I'm not always into auction games, and I love it. So
Okay,
just
I'll have
so
to
you know.
look into this. Oh, I remember the name of the game. Hibachi.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think that was
Sorry.
a retheme that they did. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, it was
yeah.
a
And maybe
retheme, and I think they're
like
coming out with
updated the
more
rules a little.
content.
Cool.
So sorry, yes, it just sparked familiarity, and that was Grail Games. Sorry about
That's
that.
not a bad thing.
Yeah. All right.
Woo! All right, 2010, folks, go check it out. Look up some other games. See if some of your favorites are in 2010. And
Yeah.
yes, we could have expanded this pie. So, heyo, if we missed your favorite 2010 game, let us know. You can always email us at saltandsassgames@gmail.com or chime in on our thread on our boardgamegeek.com guild. That's guild 4131. Or you can chat us up on the socials.
The socials pretty easy these days to find us. You can find us on, well, here if you're watching us on the YouTube or on Twitch, you'll see my face a lot there, but you'll see both of us.
What a beautiful.
More so on YouTube, but in all the places, and that is Salt and Sass Games. Salt and Sass Games. You can also find us on Blue Sky under Salt and Sass. Yeah, we got fancy with it. You can find me on Instagram. Oh gosh, Instagram and Blue Sky. Yeah, we're just gonna go with that. I think those are the two mainly that you can find me on, and it's at 613 Mandy, and that's Mandy with an I. How about you, Suzanne?
And you can find me at 613 Suzanne. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I
I'm
was
at
like, wait,
425.
you.
I'm in a zone. I'm just thinking about, I've never done that mistake before. Heyo, first
That's new.
time. You can find me on Blue Sky at 425 Suzanne.
Fair enough.
Bananas. As always, folks, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here and for being part of our extended gaming family. We appreciate you so much. We'll be back hopefully on time in 2 weeks with a new episode. You never
Yes.
know, life happens. Uh, but until then, just take care of yourselves, stay hydrated, and play a lot of games. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye, everybody.